Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Identity theft protection isn't a luxury in today's world. It's a necessity. Get yours at Xander.com.
I found you guys in 2020, and after paying off all my debt, I'm now on baby step 6. I've been dating the same woman for 4.5 years. She's absolutely amazing. I love her to death. The one thing we struggle with is money, and we pretty much see it kind of opposite. We're getting to a point in our relationship where, you know, we're heavily discussing marriage and what all that looks like. And we're kind of in a spot where, you know, I try to help her as much as possible and as much as she wants me to, I guess, to set up budgets and stuff like that. And it just never works out. You know, she always goes way over budget or whatever. And if we were to get married, like she would sell her house and move in with me, and the profits from that would pay off all of her debts. She has about $65,000 in debts. So it's not really like a concern from that aspect. It's more just, I guess I'm scared to move forward with someone that I've never seen can stay within a budget. You know, and I'm worried that it's the number one reason people get a divorce. I'm worried about becoming a statistic because we fight about money all the time.
Can I ask this, Robert? Is she not being able to stay is she not able to stay on budget because the budget's not realistic for what she's set up? Or is it that she truly spends more than she makes and she's just says that's just how it is?
Yeah, she just spends more than she makes. I mean, she brings in more money than I do, honestly.
What does she spend it on?
And
what's she doing?
These days, it's not if your identity gets stolen, it's when. So you need ID theft protection from Xander. They monitor your personal info proactively and alert you of any suspicious activity, including home title fraud. Then Xander takes care of everything, including up to $2 million of stolen funds protection and white glove service to help you get your life back. Plus, kids are covered for free on their family plan. Call 800-356-4282 or go to Xander.com.
What's she doing? Shopping? Vacations? Like what's...
Just like, yeah. So like in her every dollar, you know, she's got a food category that's supposed to be $600. Last month she spent $1,100. And then like her shopping, you know, it's supposed to be, I think, $400, and that includes even like unnecessary fun purchases that, you know, everyone has to have. But instead she spent like $900. You know, she's a mom of 2. She wants to get a mommy makeover. And so like in her head, she's justifying, well, if I can pay off these 2 debts, that's payments equal what the mommy makeover payments will make, then I can do it. But she's never once made like that extra debt payment to even pay those debts down. She's more of like a, you know, you got to spend the money that you make to have fun kind of thing than I am.
It's interesting to me that you started doing this stuff in 2020 and you've been dating her 4.5 years. So you met her about the same time. So
I met her.
So she's watched you adopt all of these things.
Correct.
The more you got engaged with the stuff that we teach, she's watched it. She's had a front row seat for the whole thing.
So I was debt free by the time I met her. I started January 1st as a New Year's resolution, and I met her December 4th. So within that year, I was out of debt. So she never really saw me aggressively attack debt, but I still live the lifestyle. Like I still budget every month. I still, you know, so she's seen that lifestyle and where it's gotten me. And she doesn't have like the mental mind. Like I see things in numbers and statistics. I'm a spreadsheet nerd. She's the complete opposite. But
yeah, I'm not asking her to be a nerd. I am asking her to quit being immature and just buying stuff she can't afford. And I just deserve it. I just want to get it. And so I'm just going to get it. I mean, she doesn't tell herself no, ever. The category breaches you talked about, the purchase breaches you talked about, those are all, I just look at it and I'm going to do it anyway. Like that, like there's a sense of entitlement or immaturity or something there that's bothering me in this. I can't tell what it is exactly. So what would we do in this situation? You guys have got to resolve this before you go forward. Not necessarily she has to become the nerd that you are, or she has to stay on a budget, but whatever the core issue is that she's struggling with here, immaturity, entitlement, because you can't just, she's not acting like an adult in the sense that you can't just spend $900
right, more
when
than
you say, I'm going to spend $400.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to figure out with.
That's weird.
Is she not budgeting correctly? Because there are some people that are like, oh, I'm going to make.
Well, then change the budget.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But this sounds like it's above that. It's like that she could live within the numbers that she set, correct? Like she has to mathematically.
She makes enough money to pay to do it right. She just chooses not to have any boundaries for herself.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hearing. So what would I do? If I were in your shoes, I would say, look, we have to resolve this and get aligned on it to go forward, because it's not going to, you're going to have a long life, because you're going to think I'm just picking on you all the time. And I don't want to be the bad guy in this all the time.
And it's a value
standpoint. I'm not going to sign up for the bad guy role.
Yeah, and it's not, again, we've said it twice in the call, but I think this is important for couples to hear. You're not trying to form her into you, right?
No.
Because I'm the free spirit. As you're speaking, I'm like, oh my gosh, that would so be me if I wasn't doing the Ramsey plan. I am. I'm just a spender, emotions. I'm like, yep, we're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy. But having to learn a value system of boundaries, a value system of living below your means, a value system that stuff is not going to make me happy. There's a contentment issue there as well. Like all of these things are values, where I still month to month spend more than Winston, my husband, because I am more of a spender than he is, but it's in the budget. So
that's easy, because Winston doesn't spend any money.
Yeah, he doesn't spend a lot. So. But it's like the idea is, again, it's the values that we agree upon, not the personality trait necessarily. But if we can't have boundaries and limits to our money, and we keep going over and over and over and over and over,
that's a problem.
Then there's an issue there, you know. Yeah, and even with debt, I would say debt's a value system. That if you are uncomfortable with living with debt, that it gives you stress, the risk of it, it's not worth it. It is. I want the autonomy, and she's completely okay with it, and it's totally fine to live by my means, and I'll live on credit cards and just try to pay, the minimum balance every month or the minimum payment. Then again, there's a value system there that will be really excruciating to walk along life with. And this is your partner, right? Like when you get into a marriage, like this is the person that you're gonna make all these decisions with, and that should be fun and it should be enjoyable. This is someone that you don't want to constantly be picking apart and adding stress, right, to the relationship. And that's what these big issues, money is one of them, but you could throw in-laws, you could throw in parenting. I mean, right, there's all these other issues, but with money specifically.
Yeah, like you would tell the kids no and she won't. That's how this is going to translate.
That ruffles feathers
that's how
for
that's
sure.
Going to translate. So here's what I would do. I would schedule a pre-marriage counseling session. And I would sit down with the counselor and tell the counselor on the phone before you meet with them, with her present, that the pre-marriage counseling session will have failed if you can't help us get aligned on these subjects. Your job as in pre-marriage counseling is you have to give the counselor instructions. Okay, I am not moving forward in this marriage unless we can get aligned on these things. Mm-hmm. And so your job is to guide us through that. If you think your job is to make me okay with her being off the rails one way and me being off the rails the other way, I'm not going to be okay with that you failed as a counselor. Because sometimes counselors will do that. It's all okay, because they don't see it the way that we're. So you need to give the
counselor will dig in and understand
a good one.
Yeah, you need but you know the root of it, because so much of who we are in our existence, the good, the bad, the ugly, comes out on how we handle money. And
exactly.
So there's things in there, right? And I would say for extreme
family
savers.
of origin.
Yeah. And extreme savers, right? There's a level of hoarding and control issues that come from people that are, and people call this show, and they're so anal, and you're just like, oh my God, chill, you're okay. But they're so wound up on that side, and that's unhealthy. Right. But then being on the other far side where she is, that's unhealthy. And so kind of getting to that place.
Give the counselor some instructions. Yeah. And the instructions are, you are to help us get aligned. If you can't help us get aligned, then we're either going to call it or you've failed in your counseling. We are not leaving your office with you saying, oh, it's okay. That's not an okay thing for the counselor to think. Because sometimes pre-marriage counseling is a bit of a rubber stamp. And you don't want, that's what I want you to, I want them digging in on this. I want you to dig onto this, and y'all find out what's driving these things. And that way you don't turn Ramsey into a cuss word in your new household. The best ID theft protection is from Xander. They not only monitor, they help you get your life back. Go to Xander.com to learn more.